Hello everyone, this is the finale of What If Naruto Came Back to Claim His Family's Name, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto looked around, he stood alone, all around him stood a dozen quantum foxes, all showing their teeth. Well, this human is stronger than the others, said one of the fox. It's almost a shame we have to kill him, said another as they neared him. Great, I am almost completely out of chakra, said Naruto as blood ran down his arm from the multiple cuts. I don't even have chakra for a harem no Justu. Naruto raised his last two kunai. If I am going down, I am going down with a fight, thought Naruto. Suddenly a black fox walked up. Stand down, ordered the fox. Sir, asked one of the fox. Our new leader has called for talks with the other foxes. A ceasefire is in effect, said the fox. What new leader? Turns out Sakito lied to the council about the other foxes offering peace before the war, said the fox. Saito learned of his father territory and informed the council. As such, they ordered his death. Saito killed his father and now he is the 10-tailed fox and our leader. We will follow his orders. Understood, said the foxes as they started falling back. Naruto fell to his knee as he watched the foxes fall back. On his knee, Naruto looked around the battlefield, his heart sank as he saw the massive amount of both humans and foxes covering the ground. Naruto, said Gaara as he walked up to his friend and fellow Kage. Gaara, said Naruto as he stood up, blood still running down his arm. They appear to be falling back, said Gaara. Yeah, the 10-tailed was killed and Kyuubi is talking peace with the new one, said Naruto. How bad is it? Bad. All of my Nanbu are wounded or missing, some Jonin are still in fighting shape and a lot of the Chunin are also out of the fight, said Gaara. Waterfall and tree? Asked Naruto. They are pulling out, they lost too much already, they would be more harm than good now, said Gaara. I see, I don't expect our forces to be any better, said Naruto as the two Kages headed back toward the tents. Well, it looks like we made it, said Minato as he sat down under a tree whipping the fox blood from his blade. For the moment, said Keiko as she looked at her broken sword, you know you gave me this sword. I know, it was your favorite wedding gift. I'll get it repaired, said Minato as he smiled at his wife. Keiko nodded as she sat down next to her husband's sleepy form using so much chakra. She placed her head on top of his shoulder and he placed his head on top of hers. Neither of them cared if it was in public and they were known for not showing their love for each other in public, they were to try to care. Across from the Rick lied fast asleep, his white uniform was red with blood, some of it his own. Hinura had healed him fast before she left to help with the wounded. As Naruto walked back, he saw just how bad things were. There wasn't a ninja that wasn't covered with blood. The few Anbu had their masks off just to get some air. As he reached the medical area, he found that the ground was soaked in blood and an entire field was the boss of ninjas. His ninjas lied in the field, most without coverings. Lord Hokage, said a young medic as she ran up to him. He was covered by the blood from the wounded and Are you injured? It's nothing serious, said Naruto. Treat the others. Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she ran up and hugged her husband. I am so sorry. For what? Asked Naruto. I should have come back right away, but they were being overwhelmed here by the wounded, I had to, said Sakura with tears. Don't worry, Sakura-chan, said Naruto as he moved some of her hair behind her ear. So is it true that they are falling back? Asked Sakura. Yeah. Turns out that fox that my let go killed his father and became the new leader of the foxes, said Naruto. He and the Kyuubi are talking about peace. Good, because Naruto, we have nothing left, said Sakura. Half the ninjas are all will be and almost everyone else is far from combat ready. I know I have no chakra left, said Naruto. I don't think I could make a shadow clone right now. I know the medics here are almost out of chakra, we sent the most we can back to Konoha, but even the medical fox are running out of chakra, said Sakura. Naruto, we have to fall back, we have nothing left. I know, said Naruto. Have you seen Kushina? Yes, a broken arm and a few cuts, she will be fine. Fugaku is with her, said Sakura. Sasuke. He is in bad shape. I sent him back to Konoha but I don't know if he will make it, said Sakura as she lowered her head. Kyuubi looked around the massive number of black and dark gray quantum foxes with the new head of the quantum foxes Saito. What is your offer for peace, Kyuubi? Asked a minister. Simply put, it is the system we had before the war all those years ago, said Kyuubi. We give you head of the council in return for peace and the promise that you promise not to try and remove the other foxes from the council like you did all those years ago. That action was regrettable, said a minister. It does seem like a fair deal, and no more blood will be needed, said Saito. You are still too young to know what is a good deal and what isn't, said another minister. True, I am very young, but you would have to be a fool not to realize that this is a fair deal. We get unification of the demon foxes, said Saito as he glared at the much older fox, and that is what we always wanted, isn't it? Maybe I was wrong about you not being old enough to see all the facts clearly, said the minister. Okay, I believe we can agree to those terms, said Saito as the ministers all nodded. What of the human issue? What issue? Asked Kyuubi. Well, the humans are a lower form of life, said a minister. True, they are a lower form of life, said Saito, but they are interesting all the same and it's not like we need to get rid of them. So do agree to leave the humans alone? Asked Kyuubi. Yes, we do, said Saito. We know it will take a long time for the wounds of this day battle to disappear, but in time they will. True, now I better go check up on my sources, said Kyuubi. We will order all our forces back, said Saito. Kyuubi nodded as he disappeared in a ball of fire. He reappeared beside Naruto and Sakura, who was quickly healing her husband's wounds. Kit, you can pull your forces back, we have a peace agreement, said Kyuubi. I am sorry you lost so many of your ninjas. Yeah, said Naruto, we will fall back after we collect our we won't leave them here. I understand, Kit. Now I need to check on my family and my troops, said Kyuubi. Note to self, never use that thing ever again, said Kushina as she tried to sit up only to be forced back down onto the cot by Fugaku. You need to stay in bed and rest, said Fugaku. Now I know why people say doctors make the worst patients. I'm not a doctor, I'm a medic, said Kushina. It is the same basic idea, said Fugaku with a grin. How is Kib doing? Asked Kushina. I broke some bones in his lower back but easily fixed, said Kib as he walked up. In a pair of crutches beside him stood Liz. Any word about father? Asked Liz. No, I saw Mrs. Namikaze rushing around healing people but she didn't see father or the Hokage, said Fugaku. Well, I am fine, said Naruto as he walked up to the next generation. How are you all doing? Fine, sir. Where is my father? Asked Fugaku. Fugaku, Liz, said Naruto as he paused. Is father asked Liz. Not that I know, he was badly wounded and sent back to the village and it could go either way, said Naruto. Father, said Fugaku. Fugaku, I went back to the battlefield, said Naruto as he pulled out the parts of his best friend's broken sword. Make sure your father gets this back. Yes, sir, said Fugaku. Now get ready, we are heading home, said Naruto as he walked away only to find Shikamaru standing there waiting for him. How bad? Bad, said Shikamaru. Over one half the forces we brought are and most of the others are wounded, said Shikamaru. Sand Village suffered about the same, Tree and Waterfall suffered more. I see, said Naruto as he lowered his head. At least we will have time to rebuild since people are scared of the demon foxes and that they help us. I just don't know if we still have that help. How many of our friends are among the Lee and Shino are and you know about Sasuke, said Shikamaru. Everyone else seems to be fine. I see, said Naruto. Saito walked around the battlefield watching as all sides removed their from the field. The foxes had it earlier than the human. They transported their using demon chakra while the humans carried their own. He sniffed the air as a scent came across to him. Hello, Mai, said Saito as he turned around to see the young vixen standing there. Saito, said Mai as she walked up. So you're the leader of the quantum foxes now? Yeah, and soon I'll be the leader of all the demon foxes, said Saito. Not much time just to act your age, said Mai. The council only meets once in 1,000 years. True, I will be busy in the short run trying to arrange a peace, said Saito. I know, said Mai. Mai, I am sorry, said Saito. For what? Asked Mai. I had the order to K before the battle began, but there wasn't an opening to K him till then, so I had to wait. Said Saito, because I waited a battle happened. Mai shook her head before running her tail down Saito's check. Barker, if you had rushed the K and failed, then everyone would be S. You did what you felt was right. You have nothing to say sorry for. Doctor, yelled a woman as Sasuke opened his eyes. He looked up into the bright lights. He's awake. Sasuke-kun, said Ino as her face appeared between the lights. Ino-chan, said Sasuke, what happened? I don't know, you were brought in by a medical fox, said Ino with tears in her eyes. You actually SD on the operational table 3 times before we able to slice you. How do you feel? Tired, but I can't feel my sword arm, said Sasuke as his wife started to cry. You can't feel it because in order to save your life we had to remove it, said Ino as Sasuke looked toward his arm and saw that it ended at his shoulder. I am so sorry Sasuke, said Ino as she cried into Sasuke's chest. Sasuke ran his good hand through Ino's hair. It's okay Ino, said Sasuke, if I had to lose anything might as well be an arm. True, I will have to get used to it, but it's better than being S. Any word about our kids? Yeah. Naruto sent a message. The battle is over and the foxes have come to a peace treaty, said Ino. Our kids along with Kushina are fine, but a lot of the others are S. At least it is over, all that is left is the healing, said Sasuke. We are so old, said Naruto as he, Sakura and the rest of the parents all sat at one large table. He was slapped in the back of the head by his wife. Ouch, but you are still as beautiful as ever Sakura-chan. Sometimes I still wonder how you became Hokage, dupe, said Sasuke as he drank some more as the music kept playing. Hey, we may be older, but who wouldn't want to see this, said Ino as she gusted her head toward the dance floor. Naruto looked at the floor where the now 22-year-old Altair Namikaze danced with Yuki Inazuki. Wait, Yuki Namikaze. Naruto smiled at the sight of Yuki nuzzling up against her new husband's chest. Next to the newlyweds danced Altair's twin brother Minuto with his fiancée Teruho Nara. Their wedding was in a few more months. Yep, almost all the kids are out on their own, said Naruto while thinking, well, not really. Altair and Yuki are living in the house on the right and Altair and Teruho already live to the left. At a nearby table, 18-year-old Saya Namikaze just looked out at her brothers and their friends dance. When will this song be done? I want to get out there. Just hold your horses, Saya, said Rei Uchiha. What if I don't want to? Asked Saya as their boyfriends looked at each other, knowing that one of their stupid fights was coming on fast. Back at the parent table, Naruto and Sakura felt a pair of arms around them as their eldest daughter's face began between them. Hey, Mom, hey Dad. What's up, sweaty? Asked Sakura as Fugaku in his normal Jonin outfit appeared behind her. Kushina stood up and turned around to show the Uchiha sign that was now on the back of her white coat. Just telling you that my husband finally got back, said Kushina. What took you so long, son? It was a simple C-rank mission. Asked Sasuke. First the builder took longer to build his bridge, then on my way back 2 of my students broke their legs when the tree branch they were on broke, so I had to keep it slower than I would like, said Fugaku before looking at Naruto. I am sorry I missed your son's wedding, sir. Fugaku, first I am your godfather, secondly you have been married to my daughter for 3 years, said Naruto. Also he is the father of your first grandkid, said Kushina as Naruto's, Sakura's, Sasuke's and Ino's eyes widened as they looked at Kushina's grinning face. Are you serious? Asked Naruto as Kushina nodded her head before Naruto smiled as Sakura and Ino went to talk to Kushina. So when did you find out, son? Asked Sasuke as Fugaku sat down in between his father and father-in-law. About 10 minutes ago. I don't know if I am ready to be a dad, said Fugaku. No one ever is, said Sasuke. Don't worry, I am sure you two will be great parents, said Naruto as Liz and her husband Kib walked up. Hey brother, what took you so long? Asked Liz. I have had an interesting day, said Fugaku. Interesting? You never call anything interesting, so what happened? Asked Kib. I found out that I am going to be a father, said Fugaku as both Liz's and Kib's eyes widened. Really? Asked Liz. Go ask Kushina if you don't believe me, said Fugaku as Liz ran off. You a dad? What a horrifying thought, said Kib with a grin. Not as horrifying idea as you being a dad, whenever that day comes, said Fugaku as he grinned at his brother-in-law whatif best friend. Meanwhile Sakura, Kushina, Ino, Liz returned to the group. So Dad, what do you think about becoming a grandpa? Well, now it is official, we are old, said Naruto. Just because you're going to be a grandfather doesn't make you that old, Dad, said Kushina. No, it's not that, I found a gray hair yesterday, said Naruto as everyone broke out laughing. Many years later Naruto sat at his desk in the Namikaze records. His old hands placed down his pen as he closed the book. How are you doing, Dad? Asked Minuto as he appeared in the door. Naruto looked up at his 50-year-old son through the pair of glasses he was forced to wear in his old age. I'm fine, son, how is everyone else doing? Everyone is fine, father, said Minuto as Naruto reached for his cane. Altair came in to help his dad but Naruto waved him off. I may be in my 80s, son, but I was the Hokage for 50 years, said Naruto as he stood up, his cane in hand. Just trying to help, father, said Minuto with a smile. I know, and thanks for putting up with an old man like me, said Naruto as Minuto shook his head. Dad, it's no trouble, said Minuto as Naruto started to walk toward the door. I'll be back before supper, said Naruto. Good, because Yuki is making ramen, said Minuto as Naruto disappeared down the hallway. He walked past into the central courtyard only to see his grandkids training and one of his youngest great-grandkid was sleeping in his mother's arms. He looked toward the village. It had grown a lot over the years. Even though his eyesight had gone dun during the years, he could still make out the stone faces on the mountain side. Only this time his face wasn't the last one in the line. Up next to his stone face was the face of the new Hokage, his eldest grandchild, the first person to know both the Chordy and the Rasengan Uchiha. He smiled as he kept walking until he came to a small stone building. Slowly he opened the door to the structure, only to see one long hallway with stone sides. He closed the wooden door behind him and proceeded down the hallway until he found what he was looking for. Hey, Sakura-chan, said Naruto weakly as he looked at the stone wall. There engraved into the stone were the words, Sakura Namikaze, along with her birth date and the day she left this earth as she slept in Naruto's arms almost a year ago. Naruto placed his hand on Sakura's name plate, just looking at the photo of her above it. He looked to his right and saw the open spot that was saved for him, when he left to join Sakura. Then next came his mother and father before going down the line. I miss you so much, Sakura-chan, said Naruto with tears in his eyes. You will be with your mate soon, Kit, said Kyuubi as he appeared next to Naruto. I would never have believed that I would outlast all of them, said Naruto as he remembered he was the last one of his ninja class still alive. It seems just like yesterday that we were all sitting together in the classroom listening to Iruka Sensei lesson, but now every one of them is gone. Everyone has their own time, not even a demon lord can change when someone's time is up, said Kyuubi. Truth be told, it is kind of surprising that you are still as strong as you all. You did grow up eating that ramen all the time. Maybe ramen are the secret to a long life. Naruto laughed as the Kyuubi shook his head. Maybe, Kit, but they still taste horrible, said Kyuubi. Kyuubi, can you leave me with Sakura-chan, please, said Naruto. Of course I have to go prepare for what you would call Mai's wedding to Saito, said Kyuubi as he disappeared in a flash of fire. Later that night Naruto was laid on his side in his bed, his eyes hand just began to close when he felt a soft hand on his shoulder. Naruto-kun, said a soft voice into his ear. Sakura-chan, asked Naruto as Sakura's hand disappeared as a ghostly image of Sakura appeared in Naruto's across from him in the spot she would always sleep. A strand of her bright pink hair hung between her green eyes. She wore a red top with a pair of tighten pants. She looked just like she did when she was in her 20s. Please tell me this isn't a dream. Sakura smiled and shook her head. No, Yubaka, I am here, you're not dreaming. But you're said Naruto weakly. Hate to tell you, Naruto-kun, but you're sing right now, said Sakura with tears in her eyes. Naruto reached out and touched Sakura's transparent cheek, whipping away the tears. It's okay, Sakura-chan, if I end up with you even death is fine by me, said Naruto as Sakura smiled before tears formed in Naruto's eyes. I've missed you, so much. And I have missed, don't worry, I will never leave you again, said Sakura as her hand went over Naruto's. I am so sorry, Sakura-chan. I should have been able to protect you, said Naruto, his hurt and pain in voice. Naruto, you have nothing to say sorry for. I stay at peace in the warm arms of the man I love. They let me come back to be with you. Your parents and the others are really looking forward to seeing you again, even Sasuke, said Sakura as Naruto smiled. Good to hear that Sasuke made it up there. Who else am I going to spar with up there? Said Naruto as Sakura became more solid looking as his heart started to slow down a little more. I love you, Sakura-chan. I love you too, Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she placed her hand on Naruto's cheek. Sakura-chan, does it hurt? Asked Naruto weakly as Sakura started to cry as she watched her husband's right in front of her. No, of course not, Naruto. It's like going to sleep. One moment you close your eyes and when you open them again you are in a different place and a different body, said Sakura as she became fully solid and the background started to fade. Sakura-chan, my joints aren't hurting anymore, whispered Naruto. Rest now, it will soon be over and we can spend the rest of eternity together, said Sakura as Naruto's skin started to change to the way they did when they were married. Sounds perfect, said Naruto as Sakura noticed Naruto's muscles coming back and his hair turned from its gray back to the golden blonde. It is, said Sakura as she put her hands around Naruto's end, pulling herself to her husband as Naruto's old sleeping clothes were replaced with a black pair of pants and orange shirt. Everyone that used to be in his bedroom had long since disappeared, replaced with pure whiteness. Sakura felt the movement stop, they had reached it. Sakura-chan, how do we know when we made it? Asked Naruto, sounding just like he did when they were married. Sakura just smiled. Open your eyes and take a look, said Sakura as Naruto's blue eyes opened only to close them again because Sakura kissed him so deeply. When they appeared there was only one thing Sakura could say as she nuzzled into her husband's chest. Welcome to heaven, Naruto-kun. Back on Earth, Kyuubi lowered his head as he sat beside Naruto's lifeless body. You earned it, Kit, said Kyuubi. I'll watch over your clan and your village for you, so until we meet again, Kit. With that he disappeared. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.